I've seen a lot of YouTube channels over the years, or not over the years, but just in the past couple of months, I'd say, have this reoccurring theme. At the beginning of their videos, they show their analytics and they say, hey, a certain percentage of you are subscribed and a certain percentage of you are not. So I'm going to start doing the same thing, and in my own little twist, if that makes sense. I'm literally going to show you my analytics as living proof that I'm not just blowing it out of my rear end here. Look at this. 99.5% of you are not subscribed, and the other 0.5% are. Something in my mouth. Literal, that you know, like whole big brain explosion. I have never seen so thank the Lord for the 0.5% of you who are actually subscribed, but that 99.5% has got to go down, guys. Start subscribing. You know, it's free. Don't need credit card information. Oh, I would love your credit card information. Don't start sending that to me. I don't want like a bunch of, in my email, just a bunch of people with their credit card information. Just don't. I probably opened up a can of worms I'm not going to be able to close. Oh, crap. But no, I'm not pulling that out of my rear end, literally showing it right here. 99. I am disappointed in you guys. Well, that's enough of me ranting about how people just don't seem to be subscribing. Well, let's start the video, shall we? I wouldn't say so much as an age-old debate as much as it just is my own curiosity, but did cavemen have armor? It's an interesting question. Personally, I think possible. From a scientist's point of view, probably not. But there's a lot of things that armor beneficially gives you that makes me think personally it's possible. It's possible. I mean, the artifacts that of which we can find in the ground won't preserve what would be potential armor well enough to the modern day. But it is possible. Now, I will tell you how it's possible and how it might have been made, in theory, in a couple of minutes here. But before we start talking all about that, I did, prior to this upload, maybe depends on when I upload this video. Prior to this video, I uploaded an update video on the coronavirus whole outbreak thing. And if you feel free, if you want to, you can comment on that video, tell me how you've been doing. I will care. I don't expect you to. So if you just want to and tell me how you're doing, I'll respond to you. But if you guys are doing all right, that's all right. So I might be being able to upload a bit more, more usually than usual, if that makes sense. I haven't been uploading for the longest time, so it's about time I started doing so again. Give me a second. So, in theory, oh, and by the way, hope you guys are doing good. But in theory, now I'm going to get into today's video's topic because I don't want the whole video to be about the coronavirus like the other one was, that however many minutes of a video. This video's topic is going to be what I want to consider probably one of my more interesting topics. If cavemen had armor. Now, again, coming from my point of view, somebody who's not a scientist, who's just an absolute Stone Age fanatic nerd, yes, I think it's possible. Do we have any substantial proof or evidence? No. The only thing that I'd have going off of it that would make sense is the logistics. If you're going to get hit on the head with a club, you want something on your head to protect yourself. Helmets had to have derived from something, and it only makes possible sense that it would have derived from an earlier primitive version of it. Now, as far as going into logistics of you know, how everything's gonna work out in the end. I mean, armor is complicated, but in a more primitive fashion, it actually wouldn't be too complicated, if that makes sense. With primitive builds of things, you know, primitive means, you know, simple. It's simple, but it's not. Many people miss that, but it's not. Because it's a simple concept. And really what, this is getting a little off topic, but really what primitive means is it's simple to an extent. Meaning it's a simple concept, but it's not a simple process to execute. So take the atlatl or the bow and arrow, for example. It was a simple concept, but it's really complicated and complex and convoluted, and there's so much that goes into making stuff like that. Because for bows, you can't just put it, trust me, from personal experience, from making stuff in the outside world, right? You can't just take, you just can't. You can't take how would I say this? You can't take two sticks, tie them together, and put a string on it and call it a bow. You can't, like, especially if living back then, you can't just do that. So, looping back around to what I was originally saying, the armor that they would have had, if they did have armor, we don't, again, there's no evidence at all, that I know of. There is no evidence supporting the theory that they have armor. But if they did, and it's a huge but, if they did, it'd probably be along those lines of primitive. It'd be complicated. Well, it'd be a simple idea, but complicated. The armor in question would have to be made out of animal bone. There are specific femurs of specific animals that I don't know the name of that are well bound. Like if I had one in my hand, I couldn't snap it into. It would be so tough and rugged. And in theory, that could be used for many, you know, but for specific parts of it, the part that would be in the I don't know the name of that area. I'm not a body expert of animals, but you could take specific animals' femurs from their back hind legs, and in theory that could be used as a chest plate, but there's very specific animals. That's why I doubt my own explanation, but you can take the femurs of specific animals and bundle them all together, and you get specific things. So you can bundle you can bundle specific, oh my gosh. Let me back up a couple steps. You can take the femur of specific animals, bundle them together, put it on your chest, and call it a chest plate. Not saying this is what they did. But, in theory, it's possible. Now, something else that is also possible is the helmet, which I have been dying to talk about on this channel for so long. A possibility for a helmet, and this is going to sound really complicated, but there are many animals where their skulls are bigger than human heads, and you could literally carve out the bottom of them, put it on your head, and call it a day. One of these prime examples, I believe, I could look it up right now, is the bull's skull. I'm not like a genuine expert, but something tells me that that's quite a bit like holy crap. So it's big enough, is what I'm trying to get across by making this Google document. I'll call it pointless doc warning pointless. But literally, this is what I'm getting across. This is the human skull. And this is a bull's skull. helmet candidate. I believe that's how you know. I think that's the right word. Candidate. But bull skull and a human skull, in theory, okay, that got a little boring there. I'm probably going to have to do major editing. But this is apparently what the difference is. Not sure why that's like that. Hold on. Might as well do this then. But this is like what the point I'm trying to get across. A bull's skull is larger in circumference than a human skull. Depends on the bull, depends on the human. Just going to say that much right now. Some bulls are smaller than others. Some humans are smaller than others. Some humans are larger than others. Some bulls are larger than others. It depends, but in average, it looks like a bull's skull could work for a supportable helmet. So you could, in theory, take a bull's skull, carve out the bottom of it, make a little crevice in there for your head, put it on your head, leather straps, you're good to go. Just make sure it's tight enough on your head that it doesn't rattle around too much, that you don't accidentally poke yourself in the back of your neck, make yourself go legless, and then die. I mean, make it safe, but still usable. Anywho, it's possible. You'd bundle up a bunch of, femur legs of specific animals. You have like a little chest plate going. You can make it go on the back and the front. Maybe forearms. And that's the thing. If I'm going off of like logistics, like what would a skeletal primitive caveman armor look like? I'd sum it up into 3 things. Chest plate, helmet, no, 4 things. Chest plate, helmet, arm guards, shin guards. That's basically what it would have been. Like, if this is the theory and if it's true and if it's possible, how I theorize it being done is it'd be quite literally just the helmet, chest plate, arm guards, and shin guards. And you have your armor. Like, especially back then when your main focus wasn't, like, trying to keep yourself safe. No, it was. It was your main focus to keep yourself safe, but it wasn't from other humans. It was mainly the elements. It was all of the above that would be other than humans. Because typically, humans want to work together. We're very social beings. That's how we got to where we are today. But that doesn't mean there aren't times that we have killed each other brutally and viciously. And those are typically stuff that I'll leave for other videos. In fact, I have other videos. I might be able to put it up here somewhere if I can figure that out. But I hope you guys enjoyed then. We're going to end this video here. So if you like this video, comment down below what do you want to see next. Don't be, I'm just going to close out of that. Don't be a part of that, what was it, 99.5%. Only 0.5% of you are subscribed. I am kind of, that's beside the point. Hope you guys enjoyed. I guess I'll see you in the next video, if I can manage another video during this whole COVID-19 thing. But get that figured out.